Are you suffering from PTSD, anxiety, depression, and you want to live your life with more intention, less reactivity, and you want to start focusing on some good things and get away from all this garbage that's melting you down? I've got this. It works for me, and it has worked for several other people. In fact, I started doing this a few months ago, and just in the last 30 days, I was veteran of the game at Dodger Stadium. I've created over $6 million agents and helped them create themselves. I will be speaking at a conference in Vegas tomorrow, and this is a huge part of it. It's about meditation, clearing your head, and then taking the next step towards getting intentional. And it all has to do with something that I have started doing, which is posing while I'm meditating and start getting intentional. And I'm going to show you what I have done that has helped several other veterans overcome PTSD. It's helped several other real estate agents really turn their careers and their personal lives around, and it's helped my friends. And people have been reaching out to me asking me, David, can you do a video on this? David, can you send me a picture of this pose or tell me why you're doing that? So I'm going to do it right here. And it's going to be a little bit weird, but hang in there for me. This video in particular is for people that are suffering with PTSD and anxiety. This is for my veterans and people that are struggling with, and just because you have PTSD doesn't necessarily mean that you saw combat. It's also something that people struggle with from trauma that is related to car accidents, childhood trauma, etc. So the first thing that I do is I like to get barefoot, and I start working on just clearing my head so that I can start affecting these things that are open to being affected by me. We are letting go of the past, because in the past lies depression. We're letting go of the future, because in the future lies anxiety, and we're working on living in the now. And right now, it's all about getting level-headed. It's not about going like this and feeling like you're gonna float up on a cloud or anything crazy like that. It's just about keeping your head nice and level, breathing. Because what's happening is the reason why we are triggered, the reason why we have these moments where we start having anxiety, we start having PTSD, is because we're triggered. Now, maybe you went to Costco. That's a big trigger of mine. Maybe you went to Costco today. Maybe you just heard a loud noise, or maybe you got a call from a relative that you don't necessarily like to hear from. Regardless, that's why we're going into this space. So what you do is you acknowledge it, you spend some time there, and then you let go of it. Okay, if you have something particularly painful that comes into your mind, just breathe it out. Just get rid of it. And what I do is I meditate on radiating light. I meditate on white. I just let myself breathe in white, and then as I fill up the entire area, I start removing everything so that it's just me and the hum of the area, of traffic, of my office, etc. Okay? Once you get to a point of complete neutrality, you move towards intention. And I stand like this while I'm getting intentional. And first, I like to think about laughing. I like to think about joy. I like to think about the closest people to me laughing, my children laughing, your spouse laughing. And you'll find that I just typically give about one breath to each person, just thinking about them laughing, thinking about them being joyful. But don't spend too much time on everybody else, because you also have to spend time on yourself. This is about you. You also cannot make people happy. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? So all you can do is change yourself right now, and that's what we're working on, okay? And then we get intentional. I think about happiness, joy, health, wealth, prosperity. I think about what I want from life. We spend so much time thinking about what we don't want, what we don't need, and then we find these things being attracted into our life because we're giving it negative attention. If you say to yourself, oh, I've just been waiting for the other foot to drop, negative things like this always happen to me, I can never get ahead, I never catch a break, then you're going to start attracting that stuff into your life. Period. You're just bringing it about into existence, okay? So when you're doing this, you are filling your lungs with oxygen, which is something that we don't do as children. Whether you were abused in combat, you don't walk around with a nice full set of lungs full of oxygen, because you cannot be reactive in that state, or you cannot be intentional in that state. You have to be reactive. So you have your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. They both cannot exist at the same time. They both cannot function at the same time, okay? So through deep breaths, you'll actually slow down your heart rate, fill up your lungs, okay, and start thinking about the things that you do want, the things that you do need. Here, think about it, think about it. And then when you're really feeling it, when you're really feeling like you're in a positive place and you're thinking about what you do want and not negative things for other people, if you find yourself being negative here, you got to start back over, okay? So fill yourself up with all these good intentions, fill yourself up with all these good things that you want from life, and then move directly into receiving those things. All right, let's take a step back here for a moment. You've got to be open to receiving, okay? Open to receiving all these good things. Now, the other part of it is you also have to be open to receiving bull crap from other people, because that stuff jumps into our life all the time. Whether it's a yapping of some person that is an idiot that you don't want to address, if it is somebody cuts you off in traffic, you get rear-ended, whatever it is, it's someone else's bullcrap a lot of the time, and it doesn't belong to you. So you do not have to internalize it. Isn't that nice? Okay, so if somebody shows up and they just start yapping, or a parent, or a negative spouse, or whatever, you are in your positive place right now. Okay, you're in your positive place forever. They can come in, give them a limited amount of time, and move on. We're into receiving, but also be open to receiving all the good stuff that comes into your life. Be open to receiving being veteran of the game at Dodger Stadium. Be open to receiving a six-figure paycheck. And why stop there? Why not be open to receiving a seven-figure paycheck? Okay? Be open to receiving the goodness. The universe will treat you the way that you treat you. So you can't be open to receiving goodness and receiving praise for your service if you are not feeling good about your service. Period. It doesn't work that way. Okay? All right, so we're open to receiving goodness. Health, wealth, prosperity, happiness, joy, abundance. It feels good. You got to let it feel good. You got to feel what it feels like when that stuff comes in. And just stand there for as long as you need to feel while you are receiving goodness. And then once you get to a place where you are overwhelmed by it, move straight to victory. Win. August is a hard month for me. It's been a hard month for me. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because I've had the best August that I have had in my life. My August has been off the charts. It's been amazing. All I do is win. I'm allergic to dying. Okay, I'm getting after it. And while I'm doing all this stuff, I'm listening to hip hop. I'm feeling it. Why? Because hip hop is about rising. It's about winning. If you're listening to the good stuff, it's about winning. Okay? Back to back. All I do is win. Okay? I'm the top. Here I go. Hustle gang. Maybe I'll put out my hip hop for you guys so that you can listen to it while you're meditating. And one of the reasons why I do that, one of the reasons why you'll see me breathing is because I have an overactive mind. My mind goes a million miles an hour. So I concentrate on really feeling it. Really feeling what it's like to win. Okay? Because I know who I am. That's the point with all of us veterans. We know who we are. We know what we did. I know what I've done in combat. I know what I've done to help other young Marines. Okay? I am a leader in this community. Period. I win. I only win. When you start feeling like you're really winning. Because even the blind, even people that have never seen anyone raise their hands in victory. Raise their hands in victory. So feel it. And then when you are at a point to where you are just winning, then you move on to receiving. Then you move on to overwhelming gratitude. I put one hand on my chest, I put another hand up, and I just wave to the crowd of people that are clapping for you, okay? You earned it. I started doing this just a few short weeks before I got a call to be veteran of the game at Dodger Stadium, okay? Now I can receive gratitude from people. Just really feel it. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you did. Thank you for missing your child's birth. Thank you. Get gratitude that you've never gotten before. For things that you've done that no one ever said thank you to you for. Okay? Then you'll be that much more open to receiving a compliment that somebody gives you that you have earned. Because we aren't so good at that, are we? Okay? Just receive it. Thank you. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They mean it. They mean it. Okay, thank you. You have to be open to receiving it. Once you get to a place where you have received, where you're waving to a crowd of thousands of people that are all saying thank you, you start picturing your family. If you're in a good place with your family. If you're not, don't picture them. Picture strangers. I do that too. Strangers clapping for you, being grateful. People that you haven't even met yet, being grateful for you. People in your past that you came through for because you're clutch, because that's what you do, because you're a freaking king, because you're awesome. Okay? They're there saying thank you. Thank you. And I feel it, feel it, feel it. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm feeling so overwhelmed with gratitude for all of the gratitude that people are feeling for me. And I'm feeling so grateful for all the things that I have, that I've earned, or that people have given me, because I'm open to receiving, and I'm extraordinarily overwhelmed. 4 years ago, I left the Marine Corps with a reconstructed and fused ankle. Last year, I made over $600,000. Okay? This stuff works. You have to be grateful, though. You have to be grateful for the things that you have. I never owned a suit in my life. I grew up poor. I grew up in Section 8 housing. I got after it, though. I want you to get after it. This is where happiness lies. Come with me. All right, here we go. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Now, when you are overwhelmed with just feeling grateful for everything that you have in your life, and feeling like everyone around you is feeling grateful for everything that you have given them, now you move back to intention. Now you move back to thinking about the things that you really want with a clear head. Now that you're open to receiving, now that you've been feeling victory already, now that you're feeling gratitude, you move back to a place of intention, of being deliberate. With lungs full of oxygen. Because what's happening is you are changing the way that you feel. You're changing your happiness so that you will be in a more grateful state throughout the course of your day. And then you're going to get a whole lot of things to be grateful for. This isn't about manifesting parking spots. This isn't about manifesting a Lamborghini, okay? This is about being grateful for the things that you have first. And then being open to receiving these things through intention and hard work. There's no path to success that doesn't lead through hard work. But I'll tell you what, right now I wake up every day and I love my life. I love my team. I love my tribe. And it is because I'm putting in the work, investing in a clear head in the morning so that every step that I take is intentional. Every step that I take means something, okay? So you're thinking about, what am I going to do immediately after I'm done meditating? You start thinking about being on stage in front of thousands of people. You start thinking, whatever it is that you want, okay? Whatever it is that you need right now from life, that you need to give life so that life can give it back to you. Because the universe, the world will treat you the way that you treat you. So declare what you want and then shout it out from your third eye and change your frequencies. When you start changing your frequencies, people will start gravitating towards you that vibrate on a higher level. And they'll start helping you out. I might be one of them. Okay? Reach out to me. Tell me your story. I'm here to help. Okay? Be intentional. Shout it out. What do you want? Okay? Now, this is the crazy part. Like, David Serpa, this whole thing has been crazy. All right, well, this is the next crazy part. Now you're going to reach down and you're going to grab your crown, okay? And you're going to put it on your head. And you're going to feel it. Exactly what it feels like, what the weight of it is. Is it a light crown? Is it a heavy crown? Is it made of gold? Okay, is it made of plants? I don't know, I don't care. It's your crown. You are a king. All right? And not the kind of kings that we fled 300 years ago. I'm talking about you are a king. The kind of king that rose from the dirt. The kind of king that stories were written about. That led from the front. That went to war. That felt the pain of his people. Okay? Make yourself a king. Because kings understand violence. And kings understand pain. But kings also understand joy and thriving and health and wealth and prosperity and comfort. They understand giving love and receiving love, okay? A good king goes to bat for his people. A good queen goes to bat for her people. Okay, whatever it is that you decide that you want to be, you be it, but own it. Now, once I put on my crown, I step off a king. I feel my day is the way that it feels like you're walking out onto a stage in front of thousands of people, and they're all waiting for you to speak. They're all waiting for you to speak. What do you have to say? Okay? Start thinking about your family. Start thinking about love and life and happiness, okay? And then you're going to do the next crazy thing, because I told you this is a series of crazy things. You're going to drink some water. You're going to drink a whole bunch of water. Why? Because water is affected by feeling, by sound. If you look, you can find a Harvard study that was done that they said love to water. And the water actually crystallized. And it was shaped more beautifully. You can find pictures online. I know that sounds credible, but just, either believe me or don't. I don't care. So you can find pictures online. Water is changed by sound and by feeling. They also did a study with music. And they found that when they played chaotic music, and I'm not going to name some of this music that you guys are listening to out there, combat veterans and other veterans, chaotic music that doesn't have a strong rhythm or a strong beat or at least a nice fluidity to it makes water appear chaotic and distorted. Now, 75 to 90% of our body is made up of water, right? It's made up of water. So it's going to be affected by the things that we do to change it. It just makes sense. Nobody's told me this. I'm crazy. I come up with things like this. But you know what? I have a lot more fun being crazy. Chances are you're crazy too. It's why you've made it almost 20 minutes into this video. You're a little bit nuts. But you know what? It's more fun being nuts. Period. So I'm going to crack this water bottle open. And the whole time that I'm drinking this water, I'm going to be thinking health, wealth, prosperity, happiness, abundance, etc. Now, if your brain doesn't think that quickly, because while you're first getting started, just think love, 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 happiness, 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 joy. Okay? Now I'm going to down this water bottle in front of you while you watch and wait. I'm going to try to do it really quickly. All right, here we go. Bam! So now I've been thinking love, happiness, wealth, health, happiness, joy. Filling my lungs up with oxygen. And now I'm ready to step out in the world. I'm ready to tell them exactly who David Serpa is. Why? Because now I'm stepping out with a clear idea of who I am. Who am I? Who am I? I'm a warrior. Period. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war, right? Don't forget and don't think that I forgot how to be violent just because I'm peaceful. Okay, we don't have to step out with a chip on our shoulder, eyeballing everybody, looking to get into it with everyone, stepping out in a state of reactivity because we're not in a balanced state, period, okay? So if you know who you are, if you have a clear understanding of who you are, and this comes from studying yourself. All that stuff that came in the beginning, all that past depression, future anxiety stuff, you might need to get some therapy for stuff like that, okay? I've been in therapy for 4 years. I'm a huge advocate of therapy. I came back from combat, and in 3 days, from being in combat to coming home, within 72 hours, I was meeting my newborn son. You think that I didn't know that there was something wrong? It's okay to say, hey, I have PTSD, I need a little bit of help. Right now I need some help, okay? Because the only way that you can get help, the only way that you can change and become intentional is by saying, I'm not right now. Stop trying to go back and recapture who you were before you left. Okay, that person is gone now. But you created something better. You are creating something better. And it's painful. I know it. Use this throughout the course of your day when you start feeling reactive. When you start checking in with yourself and you start realizing, I'm out of whack. Something's a little bit funky right now. Maybe you went to Costco, like I said. You got to meditate in the parking lot really quick. That's okay. Okay? That's okay. But take a minute to be proud of yourself. Take a minute to be proud of yourself. And then take a deep breath and get started. Okay? Remember, bring it in. Let it go. Get intentional. Happiness, joy, health. I know your body hurts. You're a veteran. I have a fused ankle. It hurts. But I think about health, and it hurts less. I think about joy, and I think about happiness for everyone around me, okay? And then I move to receiving, all the good stuff. Winning, overwhelming gratitude, intention, make yourself a king. And do you know what will happen? Things will start changing. And then at one point or another, you're going to feel like you can share this with the world. And you're going to start telling people around you. And maybe even before you get there, you're going to get some negativity. And you're going to get some bull crap, okay? You're going to get people who are not respecting the fact that you're meditating. Oh, that's gay. Are you kidding me? So what? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they think? Look at their lives, okay? Look at my life. Look at my life. If you can't hold anyone else up as an example right now, look at me. My life is good. I'm happy. So when you start changing your frequency, people are going to greet you with negativity. You're weird. You've changed. So what? What was so great about what you had going on before? You know what I mean? Build you. Be weird. That's okay. It's good to be weird. Hang out with weird people. Why not? Weird people are more fun because they know who they are. But you know what? I'm happy. And you look at a lot of these weirdos and you're going to find that they're happy. Be comfortable being a little bit weird. Be comfortable. There's a lot of positive things coming. There's a lot of positive things coming for veterans. And we are done with PTSD. We're done with anxiety. For those of you who aren't veterans, if you're done with anxiety, just be done with it. Say it right here. I'm done with PTSD. I'm done with anxiety. I'm taking the first steps towards healing and being intentional. Why? Because you need it. Your children will fight the demons that you do not fight, period. If you don't have children, that will mean something to you someday. But you have to take the time to fight the fights that you need to fight so that your children do not have to fight it for you. So that your friends do not have to fight it for you. Okay? And understand that the people that you depend on most, at some point or another, you'll feel betrayed by them. That's part of PTSD. That's okay too. Just remember that the happiness starts here, between your ears. There isn't always a light at the end of the tunnel that you should be focusing on. Sometimes you have to learn how to enjoy the tunnel. I enjoy the tunnel, even when the tunnel's dark. Because you know what? You don't get to enjoy all the happiness without some darkness. You've been through the darkness. It's time that you start going through the light. That's what I want for you. We understand the dark. We understand the dark. Let's understand the light. I'm happy. Life is good. Say it. Life is good. Mean it. Life is good. Every day gets a little bit better. Every single day gets better. I have PTSD. Sometimes I still have to fight it. But you know what? It's a thing of the past, okay? It's a thing of the past. I don't think about it regularly. Once every couple of months, I have an issue where I lose a little bit of sleep, okay? That's a lot better than where I was. Rise above it, my friends. Rise above it. Positivity is coming. goodness is coming. We got to shout it out from the rooftops if we're veterans, especially because we owe it to each other. Enough negativity. Enough. Enough. Join me. Okay? Let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Let's take this over. Let's start being kings. Rise above it. Get out there. Get paid. Reach out to me. Tell me what you're doing that works. Subscribe. I'm David Serpa. I'm going to be releasing lots of great videos that are going to help you in your journey like it has helped me in mine. And I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Let me know if something that I've said here has helped you out. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.